So also, as I've been detailing, let me tell you why I killed myself: because of falsified, fraudulent medical records covering rapist law enforcement officials and being called a liar by them when it came time to investigate. Sorry, I started crying and coughing. So let me tell you how the druggies and their people tried to convince me I was in this horrible car accident. People involved in the rapes and stuff when I was younger, trying to convince me I was in a car accident as some sick joke. Yeah, I've been in a car accident or two. Not with them. I used toilet papers as tissues. That's what we had to do in high school. The goddamn school district was too fucking busy embezzling fucking money and raping kids, having sex with kids, raping kids, and selling them drugs to afford tissues. We had to use rolls of toilet paper. This is your second. Boo-hoo. So shall I talk about the other faculty fucking students and dealing drugs, other than Erin Thompson Neal? Her husband retired from MPD and now back on as their community liaison. Now do you understand why? Oh well. So there was Becky Webb and Sean Jackson, Justin Payton, Jenna Hendrickson, whatever Miss Dietrich's first name was, and Josh Sato. So Erin Thompson Neal fucking students and Chris Neal. Now you understand why Mr. Neal is rehired by MPD as community liaison. So fuck every goddamn one of the fucking pieces of brass ring shit who didn't ask the right questions. Shall I talk more about Associate Chief Justice Lawrence O'Neill's uncut son? Or how about posting some more nudes of their law enforcement and the medical people they help cover for them? Huge story. I believe one of their statements was, you could have at least shared all this information with me first. Yeah, I could have, couldn't I? It's called ego. Ho, ho, ho to all the little federal official boys and girls now with workplace protections. No, we didn't fire them because of their sexual orientation. We fired them because they wiped their ass the wrong way. And that's about how that goes. We saw minimum wage go up quite a bit too, didn't we? Companies actually hiring cannabis patients. What in the hell is a gay agenda? I think the tea kettle may be whistling. Yeah, it's starting to. Huh? I couldn't even live life as a non-hearing person without them bitching about that too. I truly think it's time for nebulizer strengths of albuterol and breathing treatments. But I could be wrong. I use this little octachamber thing. They claim that it helps more of the medication go into the lungs versus being caught in the throat, because the stuff that comes out of these inhalers is powder. No, not cocaine powder, it's just powder. The stuff you see is powder. It sticks to the back of the throat instead of going into the lungs. This thing is supposed to help with that, but I think that's a load of shit too. I told my doctor, I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's to the point a nebulizer would be more effective. I canceled pulmonology. It was way down on way down towards I-74. I'll ask him about a closer one. But like I said, I had a full can of pepper spray sprayed in my face in 2005, and they withheld a rescue inhaler, and you saw me choking just off of water vapor. No complaint form to file. I don't remember seeing a use of force form. I requested it. I was told my open records request was too overly burdensome. Somehow I doubt that. And see, the albuterol works. And like I stated, I had a full can of pepper spray sprayed into my face as a severe asthmatic, and they withheld the rescue inhaler that I had in my bag. My purse. No complaint form to file, no nothing. The cop actually threatened to hurt me even further after being hazed by his own goddamn department and Maysville Police Department, but oh well. After they had threatened to kill me, the one lawyer who did give good advice was like, if you do sue them, they will retaliate. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? They've already threatened to kill me. I guess that's not really good legal advice, but... So yes, I just got choked on water vapor. Imagine a full can of pepper spray being sprayed in my face as close as possible as an asthmatic patient and them saying, oh no, oh well. So, the FBI investigating Maysville Police Department for chokeholds on underage people. It's not an isolated incident. But nobody wanted to listen to me. Your mother has a chemical imbalance, and look at the medications you're on. What in the goddamn hell does that have to do with anything? I'm on those goddamn medications because of fucking excessive force law enforcement. I don't remember if... Let's see what it says. Spray in each nostril, just daily on that one. 2 times. Already done that. Allergy medicine nasal spray and dry up the snot tears nasal spray. Hell, I might as well go ahead and take some cough medicine. And requester, oh, I see him on the 1st anyway. I'll get some more then. Normally, I just buy over-the-counter Robitussin, but this, I don't know what the brand name of it is. Promethazine dextromethorphan. Nothing controlled or pain medicine in it. It's Phenergan, anti-nausea medicine, and dextromethorphan. Expectorant. The stuff that... An expectorant helps break up mucus within the lungs so you can cough it up easier. Simple cough medicine, but prescription only because of the Phenergan in it. It's for Phenergan, believe it or not, can be quite sedating. Remember, I went to college for chemistry. One of the times. Thank God she's in the office this week. The hell if I'm inviting anybody over, but at least I can sing louder. Hell, I don't care if anybody ever watches any of these videos. It's me documenting it for a reason. Medical fraud, for one, on their part. The true story behind a lot of the law enforcement episodes, including the lingerie and treason, clean up to the vices, selling Dad the Mountaineer that I didn't want. It was too goddamn expensive. I wanted a loaded Equinox. It was over 10 grand cheaper. A loaded, maybe not loaded, but an Equinox with leather seats and a CD player, all-wheel drive, was like $22,000 or $23,000. The Mountaineer with the trade, I think, was like $36,000 or $37,000. I didn't want it. Oh, and then Trippy Gooding and Grey Goose Vodka, one of his buddies. Totaling it 6 months later. That's the night in 2005 I had a full can of pepper spray sprayed in my face as an asthmatic patient, and then withholding albuterol that I had in my bag, my purse. As it was explained to me by Mason County officials, we do not have to follow federal law as you see it because we are a county facility where inmate medical care was concerned. I told them I hope you all are ready to be audited. I don't play with that goddamn shit. Someone dying from simple dehydration just because they're addicted to heroin? You people are fucking sick. With an outside source telling me, Betsy's mom, you don't know the whole story behind that scenario. Oh, but I'm sure Betsy ran her mouth about it, didn't she? Let me guess. Nathaniel Schneider or Randy Thomas, they refused to let me know which one. Or was it Scott Poe? If it's Scott Poe, I have an even bigger concern. They wanted to complain that I defaulted on a credit card, that medical expenses were going on, including therapy. You all go right ahead and bitch about that. Those sick pieces of shit in the judicial circuit and their law enforcement buddies beating the shit out of me have a lot of explaining to do as to why my financial situation is the way it is, especially with medical care. Just like with me calling Anthem corporate versus dealing with the Pumpellies. I swear to God, our premium was immediately lowered. Next thing I knew, we owned over in Anthem stock. Apparently they had been overcharging a lot of people, and not just in Kentucky. Yeah, you all live like hillbillies, wallowing in your own cattle's filth. Well, it's true, my parents don't shower every day. I do. And it's none of your goddamn business if we live like the Clampetts behind closed doors. All the while living in a house that looks like it's ready to be condemned and torn down. My father was very set in his ways. His mental illness was beyond compare. Perfect example, me wanting to update the water filtration system in the house because I got tired of buying bottled water. Mom put those water filters on when she was alive. Don't touch them. I'm assuming they were activated charcoal filters, probably full of fungus and mold. You know, my grandmother, they built that house in 1960 or so. And it was fairly modern for its day. Central wood burning system to heat the whole home. Quite different for that area then. New, especially for my family. Cistern water with 2 little blue boxes attached to the line to the rest of the house. I'm assuming they were charcoal. Anyway, I wanted to update the filtration system around the time I did the central heat and air. You know what they threw in my face? We didn't give you permission to do that. Well, you all cut your own goddamn wood then. But anyway, that's how sick my father was. Mom put those filters on when she was alive. Don't touch them. Why are you keeping that rusty piece of barbed wire that we just you took off when we were fixing fence? What's the point of that? Tetanus. What in the hell is tetanus? Well, you'll realize it if you ever get it and your jaw locked shut. When he was in that accident. Mr. Horde, when's the last time you had a tetanus booster? What in the hell is that? Don't ask me. I try to keep up with their medical shit, but I have no clue. I don't think he's ever had one. So me having to beg my sister for time to help with our dying father and the bitch refusing, thanks a lot. Her explanation was I was a drug addict living at home on them. It was my duty to do everything. Well, wham, I'm not clinging to it. I'm simply explaining it. That permanent nerve damage hurts like hell. So while the Brindleys and the Drakes and the Pickrells and the Schouses and the Hendersons and so on and so forth were her buddies. Oh, and the Wests. How could I forget Jacqueline? They made my life hell. So shall I go into more detail about being sodomized by a German Shepherd canine unit? All because of my family's mental illness and drug addiction. Of course, back then, Kentucky physicians still saw being gay, especially wearing women's stuff, as a mental illness. We have no goddamn clue how these medications work, but we know they help people, for the most part, most of them. They work by causing disinhibition. Period. Remember the studies from Project Mr. Horde, you're a conspiracy theorist. Eat shit. Two, have you taken your bipolar pill today? Well, Mercy should have told me if they were going to be diagnosing it as something else yet again. It's PTSD due to being raped by a bunch of fucking pervert law enforcement officials. Most bipolar people don't go through being bludgeoned for no goddamn reason and then raped. My language is part of my culture and deeply held religious beliefs. It's not my fault they offend you, and if they do, let me point out what part of your shit offends me. Now, with federal civil rights law protections. But did I ever sue anybody for calling me a cock-sucking, fudge-packing, lazy fucking fairy? No. That's ignorant. Normally, with those types of things, you have to sign what's called a non-disclosure agreement, meaning you'll never discuss it. Again, fuck you. Hooray! I noticed there are 120 views on Clinton Adams' nude. His mother was a psych nurse. St. Clair, if memory serves me correctly. St. Clair, where they shipped my mother at least a couple of times.